Okay, so every single empire that ever existed fell. Every one. No exceptions. But here's the part nobody tells you. Most of them didn't have to. One decision, one battle, one really bad year. Change that one tiny thing, and the world you're sitting in right now, your country, your language, your entire life, doesn't exist. So today, we're breaking 5 empires on purpose, just to see what happens. Let's go. Okay, picture this. 800 years ago, Muslim Spain, Al-Andalus, wasn't just some kingdom. It was one of the smartest places on planet Earth. Astronomy, medicine, philosophy. Meanwhile, half of Europe was still arguing about which saint controls the weather. So, what actually took it down? Not an army, drama. Al-Andalus split into a bunch of smaller kingdoms, and they spent more time fighting each other than defending their own front door. Like, imagine losing your entire empire because you and your neighbor couldn't agree on parking. Meanwhile, up north, 2 Christian kingdoms did the opposite. They teamed up. Isabella married Ferdinand in 1469, combined their armies, and by 1492, Granada, the last stronghold, was gone. So here's the what if. If Al-Andalus had united instead of splitting up, it might have survived way longer. And that changes everything after. The forced expulsion of Muslims and Jews from Spain, one of history's biggest forced migrations, maybe never happens the same way. Europe's whole relationship with the Islamic world looks completely different. All because nobody could get everyone in the same group chat. 600 years. Balkans, Middle East, North Africa, all of it. One empire. And it collapsed because of picking the wrong side in World War I. That's it. That's the whole thing. They joined Germany, Germany lost, and by 1918, it was over. But here's the part that's still shaping headlines today. Britain and France had already secretly agreed back in 1916 on exactly how they'd split up the empire's land once it fell. Pen, map, done deal. Someone in London literally drew the borders for Syria, Iraq, Lebanon, and Jordan. On a napkin, probably. During lunch, probably. So what if the empire had stayed out of the war? Or won? Those borders never get drawn that way. The entire modern Middle East looks different. Not because of who deserved to rule what, but because 2 European powers never get to sit down and slice up the map like a pizza. The most consequential real estate deal in history, and nobody who actually lived there got invited to the meeting. (1991). One of the 2 most powerful countries on Earth just stops existing. No invasion, no war. It collapsed from the inside. Decades of a struggling economy, an arms race that drained the budget dry, and reforms under Gorbachev that opened the door faster than anyone in Moscow expected. Basically, the empire clicked one sketchy email link and the whole system crashed. So what if it hadn't collapsed? The Cold War just keeps going. Eastern Europe stays under Soviet influence, maybe still today. The tech and space race doesn't cool down into teamwork, it probably gets more intense. And the entire world we've known since 1991, one superpower, no real counterbalance, never happens. Translation? We'd all still be checking the news every morning to see if the planet's okay. Okay, this one we're not jerking about. Some stuff just doesn't get punchlines. 1945.
The US drops atomic bombs on Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Japan surrenders days later. World War II ends. The reasoning at the time: end the war fast, avoid a massive ground invasion. Here's what historians actually argue about. Not what if the war never ended, but what if the US had gone with the other plan? A naval blockade plus a full land invasion, called Operation Downfall. Some historians think a full invasion could have caused more total deaths, Japanese and American combined, than the two bombs did. Others say Japan was already close to surrendering anyway, because the Soviets had just entered the Pacific War, and the bombs weren't even militarily necessary. There's no version of this where anyone gets to say, good news. Every single path from that moment carried an enormous human cost. That's exactly why it's still one of the hardest moral questions of the century. Not because there's a clean answer, but because there isn't one. All right, the one everyone actually clicked for. So let's get this exactly right. By 1941, Germany controlled most of continental Europe. The turning points against them are well documented: losing the air war over Britain, then the disaster on the Eastern Front against the Soviets, especially after Stalingrad in 1943. So what if those had gone the other way? Here's the single most important sentence in this whole video. There is no version of this where anyone wins. Historians who've studied the actual Nazi wartime plans point to something called General Plan Ost, a real, documented plan for the mass displacement, enslavement, and extermination of tens of millions of people across Eastern Europe. A German victory doesn't mean the war just quietly ends. It means those exact documented plans get carried out on a scale beyond what already happened. And that's not even counting Germany itself. Historians who study that regime's internal structure point out that regular German citizens would have kept living under one of the most repressive systems of the modern era. Permanent war economy, total surveillance, zero path back to any kind of normal life. Even the winning side loses. That's the entire point of studying this responsibly. Not what did we miss out on, but how close did the world actually come to one of the worst realistic outcomes in modern history? So, 5 empires, 5 turning points. What actually connects all of them? None of them fell from one big, dramatic knockout punch. Every single one cracked from the inside first. Economically, politically, and outside pressure just found the crack that was already there. Turns out, history gets decided way less by epic battles and way more by unpaid bills and arguments nobody bothered to fix. If you want more of this, subscribe. This is exactly Mindglow is here for.